Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and we're back again to talk about the latest episode from this season of 1,000 Pound Besties, our favorite show in the 1,000 Pound Cinematic Universe on TLC, starring Megan, Vanessa, Tina, and Ashley. And if y'all didn't know, this was the season finale. There were only 8 episodes. I was kind of shocked. I was kind of very surprised, to be honest with you. I only found out about it because I follow Megan. Well, I follow all the girls on Instagram, but Megan had posted that it was the season finale. And I was like, what? What? How? Where? How? So at the end of this, well, we're going to recap it per usual, but at the end of this, I'm going to just give my general thoughts about the season as a whole, how I felt about it, what I think about future seasons, whoever, whatever. So we'll get to that, but let's get into this recap right away, because I know I'm already late, because I spent Tuesday on my channel talking about Chantal instead of the 1,000 Pound Besties, so I know some of y'all have been waiting for this. So the episode starts off where the last one left off, which is at the little party shindig that Vanessa planned to celebrate the fact that she was getting weight loss surgery. It seems like the only person who didn't know at the party that Vanessa was going to be getting weight loss surgery was her sister Jackie. And as you know from previous episodes of this show, Jackie is just a lot to handle, so people were worried about how Jackie was going to take it. So Vanessa tells Jackie, and Jackie's still generally scared and worried about what could happen. She's worried about losing her sister in surgery, which we have talked about. I do think it's understandable, especially because, Vanessa talks, I think at this point, some point in this episode, about how she's had 12 or 13 different surgeries and how she almost lost her life twice, okay? So I get it. But Jackie has the audacity to be like, I think you could have done this without surgery, and I wish I could have talked you into just doing it and changing your lifestyle.
Vanessa says she's going for the surgery. I wish I could have talked her into making these lifestyle changes and not having surgery.
I'm sorry, what? Do you not remember, girlie, when you were out here encouraging Vanessa to eat fast food, junk food, whatever wasn't on her diet, you were encouraging her to eat it. Okay, so what do you mean you wanted her to do it through a lifestyle change? Ultimately, though, the girls let just Jackie and Vanessa talk one-on-one, and Jackie does acknowledge that she can see some changes in Vanessa and that Vanessa's taking things seriously. But she also has this weird little statement about how she's worried that if she's not taking care of Vanessa, she doesn't know what to do with herself. She doesn't know what to do with herself if she doesn't have that identity as a caretaker of Vanessa.
I don't know what to do without being able to care for you and look after you, and it makes me have to care for myself.
No, nobody wants to do that.
And I think that actually really speaks to the toxic nature of the relationship, is that it seems like Jackie has really relied upon caring for Vanessa as a part of developing who she is as a person, and it's kind of a little weird to me that you'd rather your sister be in this place where she can't help herself just so that you can be her caretaker and that she has to rely on you. That's not a very healthy relationship. But overall, it does seem like the sisters are able to make up, which is good. I think everybody wants to have good relationships with their family. And Jackie didn't seem 100% supportive, but Jackie was whatever. We'll go with it because I want to have my sister in my life. So then we get a little moment between Tina and Megan where they're trying to find a dress or something like that for Megan to wear. But we do get this little scene where we find out that Megan's a little bit of a hoarder.
Megan is a semi-hoarder. Since moving into my house, she has let go of a lot, but it's still a lot of stuff. I don't know how she finds anything in here.
And y'all, I don't know if you know, but I'm like a little bit fascinated by hoarders. I love the television show Hoarders, but like I feel like it's popped up in other areas of my life. I mean, we got a moment on 1,000 Pound Sisters where Amy talked about hoarding. I'm convinced that Amber Lynn is like a little bit of an organized hoarder in terms of like just all the shit she just collects. I watch a lot of people who do Dollar Tree hauls, and you can't tell me that some of those people aren't hoarders. So it just like is fascinating to me, and I appreciate that we get this glimpse inside of Megan's life. And like I said, they do spend a lot of this time though talking about what Megan is gonna wear to the high school reunion moment situation type of deal. And while Megan has a ton of animal print, like I see you, Diva, all the animal print, all the leopard print, she is also contemplating a little black dress, but she's afraid of showing the girls.
It's awful short, and don't laugh at this. It shows my girls, and as I mean girls, not these girls, the girls around my knees. My knees bring all the boys to the yard. It shakes harder than yours.
And she does say like, oh, I don't want people to see me like this at the reunion. Like, I don't want them to see my body like this. And I do always think it's fascinating when they have these conversations, especially on this show. There's been a lot of conversations of like, I don't want to go out in public and have people see me like this. And then it's like, well, bestie, you're like literally filming a television show that the whole country is gonna watch. Well, not the entire country, but a lot of people around the country are gonna watch. So it's like, what do you mean? But overall, Megan is just worried in general about what people are gonna think. And in particular, this is the first time she brings up that she's kind of nervous about running into a man named Chuck, who she had relations with once upon a time. He, I guess, did her dirty, might have cheated on her, might have been sleeping with a lot of men. A lot of women. I don't know why I'm just thinking about sleeping with men. That's just what's on my mind. But apparently he got around with people that weren't just Megan. So that's the first time he comes up, and trust he's gonna keep coming up, okay? So then we get to see Megan go to pick Vanessa up for her bariatric surgery. And like I said, Vanessa has some general anxiety about surgery as well, in addition to like what Jackie's concerns were, because as I said, she's had like 12 or 13 different surgeries, and she claims that in 2 of them she almost died. So it's just like she's been through a lot and probably has a lot of like trauma and past experience that's influencing kind of like how she's feeling about this situation. And Megan on the way there informs Vanessa about how she will only be able to drink like 2 ounces of liquid at a time, which somehow leads to this weird demonstration about how cats drink water.
You're gonna do like a cat.
But funnily enough, my friend Willow Davis, probably who has never watched this show, did a demonstration of how hamsters drink water on Twitch yesterday, and I just want to share that with you as well.
You know how like when like the hamster cage, they have the water bottle with the little ball bearing at the bottom of it, and they go to get water at the thing.
I know it's not entirely related, but I thought it was funny and I thought people would appreciate it. So there you go. There you go. But honestly, Vanessa's growth, and I guess I might talk about this more later, but Vanessa's growth in this season is, I think, my favorite thing about the show. Like, honestly, and probably because it's so refreshing. Going into this, just based off of watching her on Too Large, so many people are like, oh, she's gonna be the Tammy. She's gonna be the Tammy. She's gonna be just, like, ridiculous, not lose any weight. She's gonna be Tammy. And, like, seeing how much effort she actually put into working on herself and talking and therapy and actually changing her behaviors, diets, The way that she worked through conflict with her friends because she really genuinely cared about them. The way she like moved out of Jackie's house because she realized that was a toxic environment for her. She had so much actual personal growth over 8 episodes of this show. It's just so wild to me. And I also just really appreciated her friendship with Megan. I feel like they've come a long way since their 2 large episode. It was just really cute.
This is God's plan.
Yeah, this is what he wanted for my second life. Like, I feel like today is the beginning of a life I never had.
I love you. I'm just fine. Thank you. You're welcome.
So, Megan drops Vanessa off. She has to go in alone because of COVID protocols. She can't have any guests or anything, so she goes into surgery. And while she's at surgery, Tina and Megan go over to Vanessa's place to spruce it up for her when she gets back. And Tina came in with some interesting balloons that I don't know really fit the situation.
Lord. Baby? Hello, baby. Are you kidding
all they
me?
had.
Well, she will be a baby. Let's put it that way.
She'll be eating like a baby.
Exactly.
But they also got her things like protein shakes and bone broth and things like that that she could drink during her recovery from the surgery. And honestly, I never really know what to talk about when it comes to the surgery parts of this show. I mean, I experienced this with Amy in the very first season of 1,000 Pound Sisters and Chris in season 3. But, like, I don't really know what to say, and I'm not going to, like, show you all clips of that because I feel like that's, like, a little bit graphic if that's not what you signed up for today. But overall, it does go really well, and she does have a lot of scar tissue, which is a little bit challenging for Dr. Proctor, and he does note that her, like, liver is very large. Like, she shows some early signs of cirrhosis. But overall, everything went well, and she woke up, and I don't know if I'm just, like, an emotional mess as I get older and older and older, but, like, I teared up when they showed this clip of Vanessa waking up from surgery and talking to Dr. Proctor.
You have a gastric bypass. Congratulations. Now's when the hard work starts, okay? Absolutely. I talked to Megan. I'll let her know you're doing fine. We'll get you comfortable in here and get you upstairs to your room, okay?
Thank you.
Sure thing, sweetie.
Say my bye.
Like, she was just genuinely so appreciative of his work and the surgery and everything like that. It was just, I don't know. Vanessa's got me right here. Which also makes me so sad because, like, Megan and Tina talk to me all the time in the DMs, but I would love Vanessa to just know. I know Megan and Tina will pass this message on for me, but I just want Vanessa to know that, like, her story this whole season just really touched me. She seems like a sweet woman who has been through a lot and has worked through a lot, and I just want her to know that I appreciate her. Tina and Megan pick Vanessa up from the hospital, and she seems to be doing really well. She's moving really well. She's like, I'm not in any pain. I'm doing good. Megan's a little bit jealous because that was not Megan's experience from surgery. But then Vanessa seems to be surprised by how she's gonna have to be on a liquid diet.
Do not touch anything in 2 or 3 days. You need to be at like 9 days at least a week. And
9 days of what?
Liquids.
Why don't they tell you this ahead of time?
They do. You don't read the manuscripts.
And honestly, when I was watching, I'm like, I hope this is a joke, bestie, because I don't know. Like, everybody I know in my personal life who's ever had any kind of weight loss surgery has known that this was a part of the deal. So I'm just like, Vanessa, wait, did you not read the manual? And then we find out that Vanessa is like, very honestly like, no, I didn't read shit. I didn't read shit. I didn't do shit. I didn't realize that was a thing. And I don't know. Megan's very concerned because she's like, you could literally ruin your surgery if you just like overdo it or like fuck this up. So I mean, Vanessa does post on Instagram these days, so I'm sure she's fine. She's alive. She seems to be well. But I was concerned. I'm like, how do you have a major surgery like that and you don't read over the manual, especially considering how nervous you were? So then we get to take a little break from Megan and Vanessa to have Tina go check back in with Dr. Proctor. If you don't remember, Tina was really committed to trying to do this on her own, and she did go talk to Dr. Proctor in the past, but it was just to talk about ways that she could keep doing this on her own without surgery, although he did talk to her about surgery. So he said, listen, give it a try on your own. Give it a try on your own. Try to lose 10 pounds and come back to me and talk to me. So she comes back in, and also we got a lot of Daddy Dr. Proctor in this episode, and y'all know that I'm fine with that. But she comes back in to weigh in, and the last time she was there, she was 297 pounds, and this time she weighed in at 296.4. So she lost 0.6 of a pound, a little over half a pound. And obviously that's not 10 pounds. I don't think I had to spell that out for you. And Tina decides she's on board for getting surgery, which also seems like such a shift in her perspective and in her story. I hope I trust that Tina came to that decision on her own, but it was really frustrating to see like what felt like literally everybody just like pushing her to do that when that was like not something she necessarily originally wanted for herself. But she seems to be about it. She was inspired by Vanessa's success, and I do know that she was kind of worried about like the safety things too, and so I think having that in common with Vanessa probably helped her out in making that decision. And Dr. Proctor's going to set her up with psychiatrists and dietitian, but the only goal that he seems to give her is to just not gain weight, which seems so different than everybody else that's ever been on one of these shows. And so I don't know if that's just because she has significantly less weight to lose than the other girls. I don't know. But he just basically says, don't gain weight. If you gain weight, we can't work with that. But as long as you don't gain it, you're good. So then we fast forward 3 weeks after Vanessa's surgery. And she lets us know she's been struggling both mentally and emotionally with not being able to eat, which makes sense. That's an adjustment, especially if food in the past has been a way that you did cope with things that were going on emotionally. And also just like the drastic change in what you can eat and how you eat after bariatric surgery. I'm sure it's an adjustment. She did mention in that 3 weeks she lost about 20 pounds, so it's good to see that her weight loss is continuing after the surgery, as one would expect. And all the girls come on over to Vanessa's to get ready for the reunion, which I do kind of want to see. I'm curious what all really happened, because we get to see them in this scene and we don't see them actually do a lot to get ready for it, and then they show up to the reunion and they look glam as hell. They really did look good. We'll talk about that. So I'm curious because we just really saw them casually chatting and not really putting on makeup, doing their hair, things like that. And they used this moment to give Ashley her 3 seconds of screen time this week for her to say that she was supposed to lose 30 pounds if she wanted to get her surgery with Dr. Proctor, but she didn't meet that goal, so she postponed her appointment with Dr. Proctor. I don't know. Everything with Ashley seems rushed. She seems to be like a side character. It kind of frustrates me. I'd like to see more of her. And you know what? I know she's working and stuff like that, and I'm sure she would like us to see more of her as well. It's just frustrating. I just don't like how the show like barely included her in all of the edits and things like that. Because she did film things. She was clearly there. But she just wasn't given a major storyline like the other girls. So in general, the girls talk a little bit about how they're nervous about going to the reunion and seeing people. And Ashley, I will say, if she's good for anything on this show, it's that she's ready to be there to, like, encourage the other women. And she talks about how they're going to come in large and in charge, and Tina adds in a little extra commentary.
So although my girls are nervous, we're still going to come in large and in charge. They're going to put your big girl panties on.
And fake it till you make it.
There you damn go.
That's what I do best, is fake it.
Now, Megan, what do you know about faking it, girl? What do you know about faking it? So they're looking through a yearbook, and good old Chuck comes up again. If you don't remember from like 10 minutes ago in this video, Chuck is the ex of Megan's from high school, and she's worried about seeing him. So, at this point, I was like, you better believe TLC went and looked up where Chuck was and said, oh, we're going to make sure you RSVP yes to this reunion, because you're going to be there because we need that TV. We need that TV storyline, and you're going to sign a release waiver so we can put you on TV. We're going to get you on TV, Chuck. You're going to be there. And in general, they talk about being worried about the bullies. And again, Ashley just is all the wisdom, because Ashley's like, listen, you're worried about these bullies, but think about how much we've changed as people, how much we have grown as people. Like, it's possible these bullies have as well. So, I don't know. Ashley just always has a good perspective. I think she always has a perspective that's, like, challenging to her friends while also still being encouraging and supportive. So I appreciate Ashley, and that's why I wanted her to have more screen time. So the besties all go to the reunion, and quite honestly, they really are like the yassified Slayton sisters. They look great. They look cute. All of their outfits are cute. I was like, yes, you better walk into this reunion looking hot as hell. You got this. And they were worried about walking in and seeing all these people. It was the smallest ass crowd of people I've ever seen. There was like a table full of people, and then it was just empty tables, and then like Chuck sitting in the bleachers by himself, okay? And there were not that many people there to be worried about. And the food table does tempt them all. There's cake, there's all kinds of goodies there, and I feel like they all really tried to make it work. They even like got sandwiches, but took the bread off and just ate the insides of the sandwiches, to the point that Vanessa was trying to find the meat on the sandwich, and she was just like, God has other plans.
Is there meat on these?
Yeah, it's in the top. Yeah, you got two.
I'm good. That's just God's way of telling me I don't need that.
But we do find out that Tina snuck some chicken nuggets.
Did you even eat
chicken nuggets?
You snake.
At least it was protein. It could have been a big fat roll or a...
Why does she have to go to the roll?
A butter roll.
And surprise, 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 good old cheating Chuck is sitting there at the reunion, and Megan has to run off to the bathroom because she's so surprised. So surprised to see him there, as though we haven't been talking about him 12 times leading up to this thing. Like, I don't know why she didn't think, if she didn't already know he was coming, I don't know why she didn't think TLC wouldn't set it up, because I saw that come in a mile away. They wouldn't have included it in the episode. They wouldn't. She obviously didn't know what was going to be in the episode at the time, but she was talking about it a lot. So you think TLC wasn't going to set that up? You think they weren't going to pull some production strings to make this moment happen? But Vanessa, the other great hype woman of this show, is like, listen, Megan, you've made changes. You're a good person. You need to go confront him and let him know what a good person you are. So Megan is like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this. So apparently he's been waiting to talk to her all night, which is obvious to me because that's the only reason he was there, because TLC asked him to come talk to Megan. And he admits that he's changed a lot since high school, that he was a jerk in high school, that he treated people wrong, that he was super self-centered. And he flat out says, like, yeah, I used you. I used you, Megan. But through talking about this, Megan realizes that Chuck doesn't have, like, any power over her anymore, that she's able to, like, move on. Like, she can forgive him, accept his apology, and move on. And I appreciate that. I think, like, we would all be so much better if we could let certain things go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy she's able to move on from this. But he does start hitting on her, which felt really uncomfy to me.
You're so beautiful.
You're good. Thank you.
All right.
Hey.
John might be in trouble.
Are you hitting on me?
I'm throwing my hat in the ring.
Nah. I'm okay.
Like, I don't know, you can all let me know your thoughts about him hitting on her after just acknowledging that he was awful and also acknowledging that, like, she has a fiance. But thank God Megan isn't into it. She's not buying it. She's like, I'm good. No worries, bestie. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. So I'm glad she could close that chapter for herself. Like, I think she really deserves that moment, and I hope that this can help her move forward and, like, feeling more confident in general. The episode ends with them each individually talking about how much they need each other to continue to be successful. And I agree, like, that's one reason why I think that they all have been relatively successful is because they have had each other to support one another. And then it really ends with them going and hanging out with the 10 other people that were at this reunion and dancing. And I don't know, it was a pretty anticlimactic end to the season, to be honest with you. And I don't know, maybe that's because the past 2 seasons of 1,000 Pound Sisters have ended on some kind of like crazy drama with Tammy. But it was pretty anticlimactic. So yeah, that was the season. That was the first season of 1,000 Pound Best Friends. I don't know, y'all have to let me know what you think, but I thought I could share a few things that I really liked about the show, some things that I didn't like, and then, I don't know, I just feel like there's some loose ends that I would like to know more about. But I think what I really did enjoy about this show is that it really was based in, like, friendship, and you could actually see their friendship and that they were actually supportive of one another. It was just a breath of fresh air after seeing 1,000 Pound Sisters and Tammy literally fighting with everybody. Like, it was very refreshing. Maybe a little less interesting because I did live for that drama. I love mess. But, like, refreshing not to have to come on here and talk about, like, people being upset and mad at each other every single day. And on that note, I also feel like all of them seem fairly likable. Like, none of them seemed to be, like, completely awful humans, which I really appreciated. And like I said earlier, Vanessa actually showed a lot of growth, which I don't think people were expecting from her. And I just really appreciate that. She seems like a lovely human, and I hope she continues to have all of the, like, success and growth and meets all of the goals she has for herself because she deserves it. I think one of the things that was really a miss for me is that they didn't focus enough on Ashley or even really Tina for, like, the first half of the show. And I just wonder how you're gonna have a whole show that's supposed to be about 4 best friends, but only really focuses on Megan and Vanessa. And at times it really felt like they were trying to, like, fit so much into just such a short amount of time. Like, we really zipped through some storylines that I feel like they could have told us a little bit more about. And as you know, one of my main critiques throughout the whole season was just that they did a lot of things that didn't seem like things they would be doing authentically. Like, it seemed like TLC was just setting up a lot of things for them to do collectively as a group, which is fine. I mean, I enjoyed the vacations and things like that. Like, it was still entertaining. I think I just would have rather focused more on, like, fleshing out some storylines for Ashley or Tina, you know? I'd like to see more of what they were doing as opposed to, like, these manufactured moments that were just for the show. I would say overall I enjoyed it more than I didn't like it, to be quite honest with you. And I do see some opportunities for them to tie up some other loose ends in a potential second season. We didn't really get much more information about what was going on with Megan and her fiance. He was in, like, the first episode or 2, and then we didn't really see him much again. And I think that was, like, an important part of Megan's story was her relationship with him and her feeling confident and having sex with him and things like that. And we just never really got that loose end tied up. I think there was another loose end when it came to Vanessa's son, because at the very beginning of the season, he even went to see Dr. Proctor with her, but then we didn't hear anything more about what he was doing. And obviously, I think there's more room to talk about even Vanessa's relationship with Jackie as well. And then, of course, there's, I think, so much more we can learn about Tina and Ashley, but I'm not gonna, like, beat that dead horse here. I'll also say that while I have enjoyed covering the 1,000 Pound Best Friends, I am very grateful for a break and posting about it, because quite honestly, every Tuesday I have been posting about some kind of 1,000 Pound Cinematic Universe content since the beginning of season 3 of 1,000 Pound Best Sisters, because the Best Friends premiered right after the Sisters ended. So I've been posting every single Tuesday. Well, sometimes I post it on a Wednesday like today, but I've been posting at least once a week since November 17th. 2021, y'all. So I'm grateful to have a little bit of a break from that, like, part of my schedule. I think it's gonna open me up to feeling like I can also post some other things and things like that. But I have enjoyed doing it. I have enjoyed chatting about this show with y'all. I know a lot of y'all look forward to every Tuesday or Wednesday where I post about something related to these shows because you enjoy just hearing me talk about it. So I appreciate all the support that you've given me. As far as I know, there's no other 1,000 Pound Cinematic Universe television shows coming up, so I hope you'll come and join me for all the other content I have here on my channel as well. That's all I have for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you're brand new to my channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Follow me on all of my social media. Leave a comment, hit like, click share, and have a great day. Bye!